One. Publishing. What's up, my peopleization? It's the man with the master plan, King Shabazz, and we back at it again, man. RTK podcast, Real Talk with Kings, man. I'm here with my brothers, man. T9, Mello. How y'all feeling today?
I'm feeling real good. Blessed, happy to be here, man. And excited for the guest speaker as well.
Mello, how you feeling?
I feel the same way. Feel blessed to be here. I think we got a great topic and we got a great guest to come with it. So ready to dissect it.
Most definitely, man. We got a very special guest in the Empire here today, man. We got my dog, my brother, Jaylen Leavell of Next Level Media. How you doing today, King?
Bro, I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm doing great.
Most definitely, man. It's a lot going on, man, in news, man. This 2020 has been a eventful year. You know, the coronavirus and presidential debates, and it's a lot of whole other different crazy things going on in the world, man. And want to get your input and your take on it, man, and really break it down and chop it up, man. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. Who is Jaylen Leavell?
Yeah, bro, Jaylen Leavell, 21-year-old from the West End of Louisville, Kentucky. For those that don't know, the West End is the hood, West End, best end. Currently a senior at Tennessee State University, where my major is mass communications, concentration. But more importantly, just a student of life, man. Matriculating through this thing called the world, trying to find out what it is that my purpose is and fulfilling that. So that's definitely who I would say I am for this brief moment.
Most definitely, man. It's dope, man. You just had a birthday pass, man, early in the week, man. Happy belated birthday, man. You know what I'm saying? Long live the Libras, man. You know what I'm saying? We got a couple Libras right here, man.
Libra gang, let them know,
bro. You already know, man. Long live Libras, man. I'm coming up. My birthday coming up this Thursday. You know what I'm saying? So long live them Libras, man. But I want to ask you, how did you get started into media?
Yeah, so for me, it started when I was 13 years old. I was in this program in Louisville. They basically take youth and they allow them, it's called career path. So at 13 years old, they identify these kids in Louisville. It's like, okay, we want to put you in this program and figure out what it is you wanted to do. At the time, I was like, I want to B96, that's the radio station, big radio station in Louisville. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I want to work for B96. So I interned with them at 13 for about 2 years. And from there, I was like, this is cool. Like, I really like being on the radio. I like being in entertainment. I like being in the news world. So eventually went on to high school. And at my high school, we had a broadcast team, a big broadcast team. So I was able to be a part of that. And then came to college. And from really, like I said, at 13, I knew I wanted to go into journalism. I wanted to go into media and entertainment. So from 13 to 21, I've just worked toward that. I've done a lot of work with the PBS NewsHour. I've done some work with ABC, NBC. So really just trying to fulfill that purpose. And then I realized, like, during COVID, it's like, I don't need that NBC job. I don't need that ABC job. I can start doing the work right now. So my last name is Leavell. I'm like, so my tagline is Next Level. I'm like, man, I can go ahead and start my own media company and start to progress. So when that time comes, it's like, okay, we can have a partnership. Like, I'm not going to work for you full time, because another thing I believe in is ownership, like, especially within Black people. So really, it's like, okay, I know I probably don't want to work for someone for the rest of my life. So I just started the Next Level Media, and from there, I'm continuing to grow that and progress that. So, yeah.
Man, that's... Go ahead, T9.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying, like, this dope. And are there any famous people in the media or who do journalism that inspire you? And what did you learn from them?
Yeah, definitely. So Lester Holt, that's a big one at NBC Nightly News. Obviously, representation is a big thing. Seeing somebody that look like me on the TV, seeing somebody that is already doing it, gave me motivation to say I can also do that. Michael Strahan, ABC, a big one that me and Malik always talk about, Charlamagne.
Right.
He's definitely a big inspiration. From his business side, I know he can be controversial, so I always try to clear that up.
Yeah.
But really just seeing black men that are doing what I'm doing now, definitely. And then my high school teacher, she used to work with Diane Sawyer. I don't know if you all know who that is, but she worked for ABC and just been able to learn from her and grow. So plenty of mentors and people in the industry that have really helped.
Man, we sure be rapping about that all the time in class, man, talking about Charlamagne and how he's how he always like pushing the advocacy for, you know what I'm saying, for young black people in media. And Mello, we discussed this as well. Like, man, it's like we have to be the ones that build each other up and take ourselves to that next level. You know what I'm saying? We can't be the ones waiting for an opportunity and waiting for someone to save us. We have to save ourselves, you know what I'm saying, and build that opportunity and create those lanes for ourselves, you know what I'm saying, and building them pathways and those bridges. And I feel like we're living in the time and the era now where it's big. We can do that now with social media and emergence. And I can, with this device right here, I can, in the click of a button, I can display something and the entire world can see it. You know what I'm saying? And it's exposed to it. So, man, I think that's really dope, man. And just seeing somebody else doing it yourself, you know what I'm saying? Seeing somebody look like you doing it, you be like, man, they come from the same background I come from, you know. They see the same struggles that I see in the world, and I just look at it, man. It's just dope, man. This is dope for real.
Definitely.
And I love how you push the ownership, man, because we just had an episode a couple weeks back, the mastery of ownership. How important is ownership in media?
Bro, it's extremely important. Like, we see it every day. Like, I'm a big fan of Kanye, right? And I don't know if you all saw, but that's something he's been preaching so much. Like, and a lot of rappers, really, I think I always call a record deal and a plantation. Like, the music industry is really just like a plantation. Like, you're basically selling your soul away. When you sign a record deal, you don't have ownership to your own music. Like, some of the biggest artists, Taylor Swift, the biggest artist in country music, did not own any of her masters, had to re-record everything. Now Kanye, he's looking at Universal like he wants ownership. He's pissing on Grammys because he doesn't have ownership, right? So it's extremely important. Just imagine if he had his own company, right? Good music. But just think if he started out doing his own thing and not signing that record deal. I think Chance the Rapper is a great comparison to having your own ownership versus a rapper who doesn't. And not even with just the music industry, with any job you go to, anything, down to the house you live in. When you own something, you take more care of that. You can look at a community and you can always tell, okay, I bet you 90% of the people in this community own their houses versus people that rent it. Ownership is extremely important, especially when you're black, because you 9 times out of 10 already don't own anything. So while you're in this generation, you should be working toward generational wealth to pass something down. Like, you look at black people, most of the time when people pass, we create GoFundMes. We don't have any money. We scrounge money together. But just think, if we had money set to the side, or if we had that generational wealth from ownership to pass down, like, okay, this was my great-grandfather's land, right? So I think ownership is one of the biggest things that we have to work toward more within the black community. Ownership and investment.
Man, it's just like just how you see it. Go ahead, Mello.
I totally agree. It's crazy you say that, Jaylen, because they did a study like 2 months ago, and it showed that 1 out of every 4 Caucasian family leaves an inheritance for their kids, versus only 8% of African American kids get an inheritance for their parents, and 5% Hispanic kids get an inheritance. So that's like crazy to see. How can we do that? And one of the questions I had to ask you, Jaylen, was like, when you're dealing with these social topics, or when you're choosing social topics, what are like some of the motives you wish to translate into the consumer, more preferably, African American kids?
Absolutely. It's crazy. I was just having this conversation about an hour ago. So for me, I always think about how is this content going to perpetuate a positive narrative to my audience, who is a black audience. What are they going to learn? What are they going to gain? How is this going to benefit them? Like, obviously I can be like the shade room and post negative stuff, or I could be like there's a specific journalist in Louisville who typically posts negative stuff. Like that obviously is entertaining. 90% of the time people are going to enjoy that content, but for me it's how is this going to make you think? How is this going to stimulate your mind? What are you going to get from this entertainment or from this content? So even with viewership, like with social media, we have to change our mindset, to making money on social media versus allowing somebody else to make money. Because every time we log on here, somebody's getting paid. But why not use it to get paid, right?
Right.
So that I think it just goes back to the mindset. Like we spend so much time on social media, which is fine. We just have to revert our content or change our mind to make money. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like perfect sense. It does. But yeah, I agree with everything you said, man. I like that you made the point that we should use our devices to make money. So what do you say are some like things that's out right now, like far as news that you think people should pay attention to? I know one of them is like Forex. Everybody started getting on like the little Forex way. So is there like anything else that people should look out for?
Yeah. So I don't know much about Forex, but I do see it. But I think real estate, that's a big thing. And a lot of communities, I know St. Louis, Detroit, Chicago, you can buy houses for $10, $15, right? That's just to buy the house. Of course, you have to go through rehabilitation, but look into real estate. Obviously, this election, that's important. Politics, we need more Black people involved in politics. You don't have to have a degree there. Bruce, he ran for a state representative in St. Louis. Man got tattoos all on his face. He's straight from the gutter, from the hood, right? So I think just getting involved, running our communities, leaving something, understanding that, we're in this next generation, 50 years from now, Black people cannot be in this condition.
I agree.
True. I totally agree. And Jaylen, I totally agree. You were just saying the guy with the tattoos, got his face, like, from an image standpoint, he would not be viewed as, like, a social leader. That led to my question, like, how can we break the paradigm or the model of what a public figure is? Like, even when we're talking about social or ecological issues, like, for me, Nipsey Hussle was a social, public figure. How can we break the paradigm to that little Black kid, who didn't go to private school or didn't go to a PWI? We can tell him, hey, you can be just like this. You can be the next Don Lemon. How can we inspire them?
Yeah, definitely. I had to look his name up. Bruce Franks Jr. He ran for the state rep in St. Louis. He's worth looking up, bro. Man got tattoos all on his face. Like, he's the last person that society tells us should be in a political office. But I think it's changing the narrative of what that looks like. We need people like him to take it and not fall into white supremacy. Like, here at TSU, they always talk about professionalism. What is professionalism? Like, who created professionalism?
Exactly.
I am professional. I understand holding yourself in a manner that is respectfully, but when we talk about you always having to wear a suit, always have to wear a tie, like, that's white supremacy. That's that white ideology telling us that we have to look a certain way. Right? So I think if we dismantle that and we change that narrative, that we should be accepting for whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever your pronouns are, if you gay, you Black, you white, whatever it is, we should be able to accept that. So I think really just changing that narrative and not continuing to perpetuate this white ideology.
So I'm glad that you said that. And this is entrepreneur. I don't know if you heard of him. His name is Derek Grace 2. Has face tattoos. He tatted up all over his body, but he started his entrepreneur journey back in 2012, and so he said he punched it once he didn't clock in, but that last day, like he said, it was around Thanksgiving. He said he's done working for people, and he said he's gonna start his entrepreneur career. And he said to put pressure on himself, he already had a lot of tattoos, but he purposely put face tattoos on his face so that he won't be able to go out and, white corporate America see, oh, this is a Black man. You already got strikes on you as being a Black man, dreads, and you got face tattoos. So he got the face tattoos purposely to put pressure on himself to go harder and to dive into his business and make that money. He has a method where he says unlearn and relearn. You know what I'm saying? Unlearn all the nonsense and the BS that we've been taught that really matter. Like, oh, the only way to make it out of the the community is we gotta be able to hoop or we gotta be able to be a rapper or something. One of the two, you know what I'm saying? Then the only way is out. But he's preaching it like, okay, you can be black in America and still make it out with your mind, you know? Because with sports, you have one serious injury, you tear your ACL, it's over with, you know what I'm saying? You rapping, that's like winning the lottery, you know what I'm saying? It not most people are not gonna be that big artist, that Jay-Z, that Tupac, that Nas, that Drake. They're not gonna be like that. So what can I do to still obtain that wealth to make that money? And that's what he did, man. He went into books and studying and learning what the Grant Cardone's study, the Dave Ramsey's, the Jeff Bezos, the Warren Buffett's, you know, where all these billionaires, the Bill Gates, what they've done to achieve their wealth and how they make all their money. So it's like how you said that, like a person can be professional without. I don't have to wear a suit. I may have a face tattoo, you know what I'm saying, and still be professional. Like I said, that's all white people saying, oh, you have to do this. This is professional. This is professional. So you mean to tell me if I got face tattoos and dreads and tatted up everywhere, I'm not professional? Because I know people who got beard suits and clean cut and everything, and the most unorganized people known to man. You know what I'm saying? They just put on the front. So, oh, I look professional, but are you really laying down the groundworks and putting that in? So I really feel that, like you said, we in the time now where the emergence of millionaires is coming at a alarming rate because of social media, and you can make money off your phone. You can make money off your laptop. So I just feel like, man, that's just you just hit the nail right on the head when you said, man, this professionalism and oh, we have to work for somebody to make millions. Now you can create generational wealth within yourself, and I believe that's needs to be preached more within our community.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So speaking on politics and the debates, you know, the presidential debate was this this past Tuesday, and I checked it out. I didn't watch it live. I caught it like at the back end live, so I rewatched it. And to me, honestly, if you ask me, man, I thought it was a joke. You know, it sounded like two kids arguing. What was your thoughts and opinions about that, the presidential debate?
Yeah, man, I would call it a comedy show. I don't even know if it was a presidential debate, but
Right.
more importantly, for me, it's more so like this is America. This is who we have to vote for. This is our leaders. These are the two people that are going to represent us. Like a country that used to be considered one of the greatest and the richest, right? Is the world is laughing at America.
Right.
Right, we have so much going on. We have COVID-19. I always say we have three pandemics: COVID-19, poverty, and racism. Right?
Exactly.
Like even with when we talk about social justice and the racial divide in America, the world is laughing at us, man. But I think it's important. It's extremely important for us to pay close attention to this election. You know, people say this election is important, but honestly, when you're a black person in America, every election is important for you. There's no reason why you shouldn't vote. Obviously, Trump, you know, he's Donald Trump. I don't think he's completely terrible. He's actually done stuff for the black community. He's progressed the black community. You know, a fact is a fact. I feel like the Democrats, they have taken advantage of the black vote 100%.
Yes.
It's almost like they know they're going to get the black vote.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think, honestly, black people should be Republican or Democrat because the democracy wasn't built for you or you and mine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really just my take on that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's important to vote. Obviously, we don't want to keep Donald Trump in office. He created this disaster in our country. But we also can't eliminate the fact that he actually has done things and progressed black people, whether we want to admit it or not.
I agree. I agree with you on that, and people forget like, oh, we gotta get Trump out of office and everything. All right, now Joe Biden ain't just no saint now. You know what I'm saying? Because he's the one. He also was the one.
1994 crime.
Right, the crime bill. Exactly. He was the crime bill, and then, you know, the things that he's saying throughout the campaign, like when he went on the Breakfast Club, he was like doing a lot of shucking and jiving, and you know what I'm saying, doing a lot of things, trying to sound hip and cool, and said, "You ain't black if you don't vote for if you got a hard time voting for me or Trump, you ain't black." Then I heard him say something like "knock on wood," like just a lot of stuff. So like it's like you picking the lesser two evils. So you gotta, when you voting, these people gotta earn your vote. You know what I'm saying? Don't just vote because you don't like one. You know what I'm saying? I'm picking the lesser of two evils. At the end of the day, you still picking someone that's evil. So if you gonna vote, don't just vote just to be voted. Oh, I voted just to say I voted. Nah, vote for the best, who has your best interest. You know what I'm saying? Don't say I'm voting for this person because he's a closeted racist and he's not all out and bold with his racism. You know what I'm saying? Vote for
I
the
would
best
take a
person.
racist in my face than a racist that I can't
Exactly.
see any
Exactly.
day. And
Exactly.
I think another thing, at the debate that I paid close attention to, when Joe Biden was asked the question about police budgeting, he basically said he supports the police. He wouldn't push to defund the police or eventually abolish them. But if you know anything about the history of policing in this country, they were created to stop slaves,
Right.
kill runaway slaves.
Right.
So history is repeating itself, and we still see that narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So you mean to be telling me we're going to vote for a president that wants to continue that?
Right.
So I think we just should pay attention to both candidates and really understand who we're voting for.
I agree with you.
And like you said, bro, he isn't a saint.
That's what I'm saying. And like I said, man, said word for word, Biden says he supports the problems police officers face and that he's against defunding the police. What are the problems that these police officers face? You know what I'm saying? And neither one of the time, everybody talking about how, you know what I'm saying, Trump, he never, you know what I'm saying, disowned or, you know what I'm saying, separated himself against the races of white supremacy, anything. But let's keep it 100. Joe Biden hasn't said anything like that. What he's done for the black people. You know what I'm saying? He never said, "Oh, I support black people and how I'm gonna work on things to help make change, make things better for black people in America." You know what I'm saying? He's just, I support the police. I'm against defunding the police. All right, what about the black people who are being brutalized, murdered, oppressed, and killed by these same police officers in America? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing about that? What are you doing to those people? The people who built this country. So, like I said, I tell people, just voting, just be voting. Make sure you voting with a purpose and you really doing your research on who you want in office. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, I'd rather be called a nigga to the face than a nigga behind my back. Because someone who's taking care of you be like, oh, I got you. You my friend. You my buddy. Give me a hug. As soon as you give you that hug, boom, he butcher you. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you stab me, I'd rather somebody come up on me. He like this. All right, look. I don't like you, black ass. I'm finna, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna jab at you, stab at you. You know what to come, so I'm on guard. You know what I'm saying? That person that's on playing like I care for you, you know what I'm saying? A snake in the grass, he gonna lull you to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And then once you realize, oh, he's not for me, it's too late. You know what I'm saying? The damage has already been done. You know what I'm saying? But when you got the racist to your face, you know what he is. All right, I know what he about, so come on with it. You know what I'm saying? And I think Trump forced black people to come together, and stick together, so because of him being such a racist. So, like I said, man, it's pretty much picking the lesser two evils. I preach to people, make sure y'all start changing things within the community first. We change things within the community with the aldermans and, you know what I'm saying, the governors within our cities and our state officials. Then it'll eventually go up to higher ranks, you know what I'm saying, with the president and stuff, and then we'll create change.
Even when I look at just the statistics on African Americans, with the electoral voting, Obama last office, during Obama's last run, 66% of African Americans voted. I don't know if they voted for, a majority of them voted for Obama, of course, but that's 2 out of 3 African Americans. 59% of African Americans voted during this Donald Trump last election. 8% of African Americans voted for Donald Trump. So really, that's 51% of African Americans who didn't vote. Who did not go in favor of Trump. So we got to get those statistics up. And I think it's hard to tell somebody, hey, go vote over the president when you're not pushing local agendas to go vote within your community. So I think we most definitely got to tend to vote for that community first.
Well, yeah, man, I agree with everything y'all said. Like, seeing that you an activist and like a black journalist, I can really tell you very passionate about what's going on and stuff like that. So how do you mentally prepare to like talk about or write about those things because I know we all come to a point to where like we get enraged about certain things that's going on with police brutality. Like I know, like being a journalist, there's certain guidelines you all must follow. So like I know it's sometimes you like get to a point like, man, I just want to like, So how do you like slow down, like just prepare yourself not to like,
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, self care is important. Whatever it is you do, however you do it, self care is extremely important. Do something that you love. Do something that you enjoy. So oftentimes I try to do that. Like I was when the Brianna Taylor verdict came out that 2 cops were getting off. I was like maybe feet away from Brianna Taylor's mom and seeing the family's reaction outside and seeing all the community's reaction, it was really disheartening. So from there, I had to take maybe 2 days off just to not even read about anything going on. That's really how I balance it. And then from a journalistic perspective, obviously our job is to tell the narrative, to tell the facts. But when I'm on platforms like this, I'm Jaylen, so I'm going to share my opinion. But for me as a journalist, it's talking about the facts, making sure we can get the truth out, making sure that everyone understands this is what happened, this is the truth, whether it's how I liked it or not. I try not to be unbiased, or biased. I try to be unbiased, but I also try to market it in a way and tell the story in a way where my community and my people understand it's for their best interest.
So my brother Jimmy, man, he said, so y'all really feel our vote matter when the electoral vote is the vote that decides the presidency, not the popular.
Yeah, your vote definitely matters, bro. If and here's what I say, bro. Like, if your vote didn't matter, they wouldn't be trying to suppress your vote, bro.
Right.
They wouldn't be trying to take mailboxes. They wouldn't incarcerate hundreds of people and hundreds of black men that are currently in penitentiary and release them and they can't vote for the rest of your life. Yes, the electoral college plays a role within it, but understand if your vote didn't matter, if voting didn't matter, they wouldn't suppress it. Just think of the things that we do that they don't give a damn about and don't try to oppress. Voting is one suppressed, right? If the vote didn't matter in the 60s, they wouldn't have made our ancestors count how many beans was in the jar when nobody knows how many fucking beans was in the jar, right? So I think it's really understanding that, yes, they didn't die for it to be like this. However, people did die for you to have the right to vote. So I think we should exercise that. But we can't get mad if we're not running for office. We got to get in there and run for city council. We got to get on the state level. We got to get in the Capitol and eventually run for president. And when we do it, we have to have an agenda for us, by us.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I feel like then us as black people, even though we have someone of color in the office, everybody that's just skin folk ain't your kin folk. You know what I'm saying, Joe? So don't just vote because somebody tells you to vote or you see somebody black in office. Really vote for, vote for that person that's really got your best interest. Like I constantly preach, like I said, it starts within our community. We have to get the right people, our right aldermen, because we had a change in St. Louis. I forget. We had a change of office. Dude was in the office for years, and ain't nothing changed. Got anything has gotten better. But once the people of St. Louis realized that we were tired of it, you know what I'm saying, they voted and got him up out of office. Dude was just sitting up there, and it's like, it ain't like the presidential election. Oh, you serve 2 terms and it's over with. Oh man, dude been serving for over 15 plus years. He's been there for a minute. So, like I said, man, we gotta, our votes within our communities, we got to change that first. Then the things at the upper level and the higher levels, that's when we'll create that change within our community to make things better. But I also want to preach, like with the financial literacy, we have to be conscious and really press that narrative. Like, hey man, we got to do for self and do for our own and make our own money and create our own generational wealth. Because believe it or not, yeah, money is the root of all evil, but money makes the world go round. That dollar makes the world go round. You know what I'm saying? That money has power. So we have that power to build different infrastructures and build things within the community to help build up our communities where we can build those opportunities to lower gang violence in the community. You know what I'm saying? The war on drugs has been going on for so many years. It's a war on drugs, but there's no war on poverty. You know what I'm saying? Homelessness, you know what I'm saying? All that. So we build our own generational wealth and give back to the communities that we come from so we see that little 5, 6 year old who's exposed to all this crime and this drama and this madness on a daily basis. We built that opportunity. We built that STEM program or that financial literacy class, you know what I'm saying, outside of school, something that's gonna really matter, something that's gonna really they can use, that can grow, that they always have with them with intellectual property years down the road. Some things that can really help them and help them grow as individuals and build that generational wealth. So it's an ongoing thing instead of just passing down debt, hard times, you know what I'm saying, a lot of BS, you know what I'm saying, rituals and morals that doesn't do anything for us, but just leave us trapped in the rat race. You know what I'm saying, and just leave us that kept us left blind. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm saying leave us in the
So
rat
Jaylen,
race.
I got a question. So like with you, you know, you got your own media platform, you have your own media company. So with you, you cater towards the mass, you cater towards the consumers. You shed a light on a lot of things. You give us a lot of education, a lot of intellect on things, you know. So it's safe to say you cater to us as the consumer, as the mass. How can the mass or how can the consumer benefit and help you, you know, with you being the supplier?
I think it's more so supporting it. We have to support Black businesses, and not even just me. We have to be willing to support Black businesses. However, we also have to understand that the challenges that come with Black businesses, sometimes it's an inconvenience. You know, we have to go out of our community or we have to pay more. But and with that, it's a whole science to that, understanding that the resources that we have, if I'm starting a business, I'm not going to have the same resources as Walmart. Or if I'm starting a media company, I'm not going to have the same reach and the same network as Nickelodeon or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. But we have to intentionally be willing to support and buy things from Black people.
Exactly.
We have to be intentional about it. Like, okay, where's this shirt from? Is this Black owned? Okay, cool. Where was this shirt made? And not even just, okay, I'm going to go buy this shirt because it has RTK podcast on it. Or no, I'm going to buy this shirt because I see it and it says made in the U.S. and made in the U.S. by a Black company. Mm-hmm. So it's important. And I think it's going to take a while for us to get there. But we have to intentionally be willing to support Black businesses. If it's a grocery store, if it's a gas station, we can no longer just give our money to anybody. They don't appreciate the dollar, and we have the buying power, trillions of dollars of buying power. We gonna buy the J's, we gonna buy it. It's not like we broke, we got money, right? We just have to be willing to overturn that money within our community. Just think of how many people touch that $1 bill before you get it. What if 15 Black people touch that dollar bill before you got it, and you pass it on to 15 more Black people?
Exactly. Another thing that gets me, man, with Black people, how we always, man, why is it so high? What is like when somebody's like a Black person starting their business, man, why? Damn, is that much? Damn, that much? What's all that? You gonna throw me a deal? No. Fuck with me and pay my full price. You don't go into Gucci and say shit about no $600 shirt. You know what I'm saying? That was made at the exact same place where you can go get that shirt from a Walmart. You know what I'm saying? They just stitch Gucci on that shirt and then stitch nothing on that other shirt. You don't say nothing about when you go into Finish Line and Foot Locker and they selling these J's for $300. You don't say, hey, you don't go to the counter. Hey, man, look. Hey, fuck me on that deal, man. Let me get these J's. I know the J's $300. Let me get that for $150. Nah, man, you pay that full price. You know what I'm saying? You pay that full price and support that. You support that business. Do that with your Black brother and sister. Don't become shortchanging them and always trying to, oh, dang, why the building so small? Why the building this location? Why the building that location? Man, just support it. You put that dollar and you put that money in there, you can tell that they are serious, and it'll grow into a big corporation going around worldwide, and you see it just as big as a Walmart or a Gucci store, whatever it is. But we gotta start supporting each other. You know what I'm saying? Every other race support themselves. You know what I'm saying? You got the Mexicans, they gonna support each other. You know what I'm saying? They gonna all support each other. They got a lawnmower company, or you know what I'm saying, a restaurant or something. They gonna hire all their nieces, nephews, brothers and sisters. They all working together. You know what I'm saying? The Asian community, they open up a hair salon. They gonna open it up in our community, in our hoods, and they gonna hire nobody in the hood to work there. They gonna hire their cousins, they aunties, they mamas, they uncles. You know what I'm saying? They all have that being on one accord. Us as black people, we always looking at each other as we start a business. I see you got that little business going on, or you got that little podcast going on. You got that little media company. You know, they throw that little on there. You know what I'm saying? Why I got to be all that? But you go to these other companies, yeah, man, it's wow. You eyes open and you just look at it like, oh, this is just big, massive, something just so amazing. Let's do that and put that energy to ourselves and see the progression at something as small as 5 years. If we all go on one accord and support each other 5 years constantly, look where we'll be at. You know what I'm saying? We'll take out the value. We put all the value into these name brands, these Gucci's, these Pradas, these Dolce and Gabbana, you know what I'm saying? These Balenciagas. So we put that value and that prestige into our own things, man, we'll be global with our greatness, man. For real.
African Americans make up $1.2 trillion of the consumer market. It takes 6 hours for that same dollar to lead the community.
It leads the community fast, but these other communities, man, they go through 3 different hands. It go through about 15 different hands before it leaves the community. Then if once it leaves the community, it ain't gonna take too long for it to come right back. Because they support each other. We have to support each other. My brother
One
Jimmy.
big thing I noticed, like, we became too friendly with like sharing our culture, because like even with like hip hop, we was like preserve it. It used to be hard for like not to like throw shade on anybody, but like for a white person to get in the hip hop industry.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think we just need to like get more people like into the dope. So like for like the young listeners out there who may not know what is it like being like a black journalist or like an activist? Like what is the community like?
Yeah, man, that's a great question. I think, and I've actually never thought about it, what it's like being a black journalist. I think it's understanding that I have the power to control a narrative, right? Social media in general controls the world, especially the news. If I'm consistently reporting on the news, 3 black men shot, 3 black men robbed this store, 1 black man found in the alley, single mom struggling. Like, if that's constantly the narrative that I'm telling my viewers and showing to young people, if that's all I hear all my life, you ain't shit, you ain't gonna do this, or you can't do this, or you're like Malik said, the only way out is football and rapping. I think as a journalist, for me, my main passion, and I always say, is to foster positive racial identity. If I'm saying, hey, read about this black doctor, hey, read about this black astronaut, hey, read about how this guy created a media company, or hey, read about how this guy was a football player, was a rapper, but came back to the community and has all of these businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really, as a black journalist, what my goal is, and what I hope to continue to do, is to change the narrative of black people. Change the narrative of who we are, what we are, and who we can be, and how we can get there. So that's really how I'm doing. Thanks for that question, bro. That was
dope. You actually answered 2 of my other questions. I was going to ask you like, what impact as a black journalist would you want to have, but you really just shared that, and I hope like people really like listening to that, because you don't got to be like a rapper or a basketball player. Like, you a journalist and an activist. You know what I'm saying? You got the power to like change the view and the perspective of like, hey, this is how we can get successful too, while also helping each other. So yeah, I like that, man. That was dope. Yeah.
Man, my brother Jimmy in the chat, man. Millionaire Mindset. Facts. We need to recreate Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street, definitely. I think one of the craziest thing that black people have right now, things that's stopping us, is comfort and distractions. We're too comfortable we're no longer hungry. Like when you go back when we were slaves, we had something to fight for. We was trying to get free.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have to fight for right now? Where are we trying to get? Right now, we're currently comfortable in America, and we have distractions.
Right.
And fear is a distraction.
Yeah.
When you think of a prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's more people in the prison than the guards. You can overturn a prison any day, but it's that distraction and it's the fear. You're comfortable.
Yeah.
So I think we have to stop being comfortable as Black people and lose those distractions. Mm-hmm. Like our attention span is so small. But if we, going back to social media, we'll spend hours, and including myself, we'll spend hours on social media scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
When you look up, it's 3 hours went by. What have we accomplished? You got Asian people right now, like, creating stuff. The Jewish community, richest people in the world, buying stuff, creating. Like, we have to be willing to change our mindset and change where we're going to be. Like, it even goes back to a job. It's like, okay, you got a corporate job, you making 6 figures. That's somebody telling you you're only worth 6 figures. I'm going to pay you 6 figures, or I'm going to pay you $100,000. You're only getting $100,000. Why not shoot for that $500,000? It's like we get in these corporate positions, we have this big title, but we're comfortable. Right. Why not overthrow that and try to become the CEO? Mm-hmm. Like your 9 to 5 should be your day job, and from there you should be grinding in the backyard, doing your own thing. So we have to lose that comfort. Mm-hmm. No matter if we at the top, we not at the top because we not at the top till we leading it in the financial wealth. That's how I look at it. No matter how much money you're making at your corporate job, that's somebody telling you this is what you're worth to me, not you saying this is what I'm worth.
We have to get out of that consumer mindset,
Absolutely.
All that, let's stop being the consumers. Let's be the creators and innovators. Because we the first one to share and retweet and post things and make things popular. But what do we get off? What do we get out of that? You know what I'm saying? We get the fame, and everybody know that fame. It comes and it goes. But after that, man, I made this go viral. Then what? Did you make any dollars, any money off of that going viral? Let's create something. Like you said, these Asians, while we enjoying and playing with the apps, they made that 5 years ago. They working on the next TikTok, the next big, the next Instagram, the next Facebook for us to keep us distracted and brainwashed and, and stagnated. Me and my brother Jimmy, we was talking about that yesterday, man. He was talking about how he went on a hiatus from social media, and it's like changed him. Like, it's just we able to clear his mind and be able to focus. And I noticed myself the same way. Like, I would be on social media. I get on social media, like, all right, I'm finna promote for the show, and promote for the show and send out my little stuff, everything for RTK podcast. Then I see myself scrolling down my timeline. I'm like, hey, then you look up, 30 minutes to an hour went by. Then soon as you exit out of it, 15 seconds later, you right back on scrolling up the timeline. It's distracting. And like you said, Jaylen, you sitting there looking like, all right, 3-4 hours that went past, and I've been on social media, but what have I done? Have I done anything? Have I progressed? Have I came up with any creativity, anything? And I feel like the social media, it has its positive effects, but it also has its negative. It kills motivation and drive and creativity. You know what I'm saying? You're so busy watching and seeing what other people doing and trying to live this facade and live this false narrative and false lifestyle, and that's not really you. You know what I'm saying? You need to be focusing on yourself. You're so busy putting on an image for people to see, and you're not really living with the life that you portraying to live on social media.
So. Yeah, and I think what you said was so powerful, bro. Like, while we're scrolling on TikTok, the age, or scrolling on Instagram, we being entertained, they already working on the next app that they about to launch in 3 years, right?
Exactly.
It's like, y'all still on that? We on the next thing.
Exactly.
What are we going to do? Get on that next app. While we're on that app, they'll be on the next thing. So that was powerful what you said, bro.
Right, because these millionaires, they minds, all your millionaires, entrepreneurs, billionaires, their minds not even in 2020. They was in 2020 back in 98 when we was first born. They in 2050. Nas said it in one of his songs, Nas, in his last album, King's Disease. He said, my mind is in 2090. Everybody who's these billionaires and these creators, their minds is not in 2020. Didn't already lay the groundwork for 2020. That's why when this pandemic hit, it didn't bother them. You know what I'm saying? It's just, hey, this don't shortchange my money. If anything, this increases my money. Jeff Bezos, Amazon went through the roof because of the coronavirus. The coronavirus was the best thing that could ever possibly happen to them, you know. But us as black people, we are so focused on the minuscule things like, oh man, I got this. It's a set this weekend, man. It's a party. Finna get live, man. Man, I got the drip, dog. I got this, man. I got that, man. Man, Keisha, she gonna bring her fine ass to the party, man. You know I'm finna try to hit, like, all stuff that don't matter. All right, cool. You go to the party, you drip. All right, you get lucky. You know what I'm saying? You end up getting something for Keisha. All right, then what? You wake up the next day. All right, I done spent $600 for a party where didn't nobody there remember what I was wearing because everybody was so drunk and high. So now I gotta post it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta post it now so people will see what I had on. And once I get them likes and them gratifications, oh man, my post did numbers. All right, then what? It did numbers. Did that each like get you $1? If each like get you $1, all right, cool. Bet I'll be posting every day too. If I get $1 for each like, but you just got the likes just to say I got 1,000 likes. I got this many this and that. It doesn't mean anything, you know. So we got to change our mindset, you know. Like shout out to Derek Grace, man. He said, unlearn and relearn, man. We have to change our mindset and how we thinking, and that's big. So
yeah, and I think I want to just shed that one more time. When we think about mindset, look at Hov, Jay-Z, right? Mm-hmm. Changed his mindset, became a billionaire. Other rappers saw that. Like, you look at Meek Mill, he's like, okay, I'm a rapping's cool, but I also want to change my mindset and get there too. Waka Flocka doing the same thing. Gotti, like, you know, when they were able to see a rapper become a billionaire based off the mindset, it's like we're just gonna go so far. Like, you're never gonna become a billionaire by rapping, right? You gotta change your mindset. So that's all it is with black people. We gotta change the way we think.
So I have a question. So, like, what improvements do you see, like, with our people in general, you know? Because I do feel like we have made some improvements.
Absolutely. We've definitely progressed. And I never want to sound like I'm bashing black people because I love black people and I love the black community and forever go to back. When we talk about improvements, that's obviously HBCUs. You know, you look at 90% of the doctors black doctors within the medical field, they've come from historically black colleges and universities. Specifically in my community in West Louisville, when COVID happened, several people didn't have grocery stores. They didn't have groceries because grocery stores was closed. Because of that, now there's 2 or 3 black-owned grocery stores within the community. So those are just the main 2 that come to the top of my head. We talk about media. Tyler Perry, look at him, right? Instead of trying to get to the table, he built his own table. Almost every black actor or actress has been put on by Tyler Perry. Now, instead of trying to fight to get in Hollywood, he's in Atlanta where black people already are. And now the people that he was calling trying to get at the table are calling trying to eat at his table. Right. So we're definitely progressing, but it's all within the mindset for that.
I agree.
That's true. I think I just saw Meek Mill. He owns 50% of the lids now. Yeah. Like you said, just change your mindset. He owns 50% of the lids. Fanatic on the other 50%. So, like, with you, Jaylen, with you being an entrepreneur, and anybody who wants to be an aspiring entrepreneur, what would you have to say? You know, there's some misconceptions about starting, you know, your own company. You know, a lot of people think it's hard. And what's the first step of starting your own company?
I think just doing it. Nike told me a long time ago, and I'm going to say it again, just do it. Like, we look at Uber and Lyft, one of the 2 powerful most transportation companies right now. They created their business during the recession in 2008. We're super broke. We look at Nike, Facebook, created while he was broke. College campus, Nike created in the garage. Just do it. No matter how much money you have, if it's your vision and it's your goal, the money will come. Just work toward doing it. For me, with Next Level Media, I heard somebody say, what are you going to have after this pandemic? And I thought about that. I'm sitting there like, damn, I'm not working toward nothing. What am I going to have besides not COVID, hopefully? So it's like, I created something. I think just do it, whatever it is. You know, whatever your vision is, whatever your dream is, create that. Do it. And it's not going to be large at the beginning. Heck, it might not be large for the first 20 years. But if you continue working toward it, if you stay to the grind, it'll happen. Patrick Walker Reese, he's a motivational speaker in Nashville. He talks about it all the time. Just go ahead, get in, do it, jot it down. I think another thing, the first step is writing it down, bro. Like whatever that vision is, get you a journal and write it down. This is what I want. This is how I want it. This is what I hope. Like just start writing it down, because when it's I don't know, it's just something about writing stuff down that helps 100 times more for you to fulfill whatever you want to do. Right. Like you can think it, but if you pull over whatever, you just write it, and 2 days from then you go back and read it, and it's almost like a manifestation. Like, okay, cool, I did write that. Now let me write this. So write it down and do it, bro. For sure.
Now I wanna we touched on the Brianna Taylor situation a little bit earlier, but I want to go back to it and ask you. You've been on the front lines covering it in the news in the wake of the hearing. I mean, the hearing that took place a couple weeks ago. Then just all of everything that was being pushed over during the COVID-19 in this summer. How has the climate in Louisville changed over the last six months, and in the wake of the Brianna Taylor shooting?
Yeah, obviously, COVID played a major role within it. But most importantly, with the Brianna Taylor, I think a lot of it's called Louisvillians. A lot of people in Louisville, it's a lot of like Kentucky. So Louisville, Kentucky. Kentucky's kind of white and racist, but Louisville's kind of like the inner city. So you really don't understand how racist Kentucky is unless you go outside of Louisville. So I think it really woke a lot of people up. And not even just in Louisville, but all over the world, we were able to see that there's still a problem with race. But more importantly, you saw, like, it's funny, I always laugh every time I'm at a protest, because you see the hood dudes, you see the people from the East End, you see the drug dealers, like everybody literally came together for moments and times to fight for Brianna Taylor. So I think it really allowed people to wake up. It allowed people to understand that we got to create change, and we have to be the ones to change it. Of course, you know, there was protests, the National Guard was out. So right now, the city does look a little dry and devastated, but I think you're seeing a lot of Black people rebuild, and it's a sense of community versus a sense of competition.
That's dope. Yeah, that's how it is, man. Black people, we must come together, man, you know, and we need to have these tough, engaging conversations on a regular basis instead of having those meaningless conversations. But for you personally, how did the Brianna Taylor ruling personally affect you, being from Louisville? You know, because everybody else, people from the outside, you got people from all over that's hurt, and like, man, that's some BS, you know. But being Black and from Louisville, Kentucky, how did that affect you?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, literally, when the verdict came out, maybe like that, the next day I was driving, I'm thinking, and like, I didn't cry, but it was just an emotion that came over me. It was just like, I just felt so down, because it's just like, damn, like, another Black person in America that's dead, and America's basically saying we don't give a fuck, right? And for it to happen in my city, it hurt even more. Like, you see Mike Brown, you see about it, you see Philando Castile, George Floyd, Tamir, right? Like, the list goes on and on and on, unfortunately, of people that are victims of racist violence. So for me, just knowing that it was in my city, it hurt even more. And to know that, like, I'm out here in it, like, it really hurt. But more importantly, when it happened, I said, there's no way I can sit at home and just post on social media, arrest the cops to kill Brianna Taylor. Brianna Taylor's life mattered. Like, I have to go out and fight for my people. And when I say fight, it's more than protesting. Like, I can yell, kick, scream all day. They don't give a damn. I have to fight in the way that's going to hit white people, right? Fight in the way I spend my money. Fight as far as being on the table, at the table. So various ways of understanding that protesting isn't going to answer all of our questions, all of our answers that we want. So, man, I know I'm going on and on because still I just don't know how to articulate.
No, man, this
Brianna Taylor case. I like two of my friends are actually right here now went to school with Brianna Taylor's sister. So Louisville's a small community and everyone pretty much knows everybody. So it's still kind of sad when you think about that situation and to know that it happened at home. It's awful.
Yeah. Nah, man, you ain't rambling, man. Nah, this what the empire is all about, having real conversation and discussing the things that's going on. And like, I just like, not me personally, not being from Louisville, but just being black in America, you know, it's just really affected me. You know what I'm saying? It just really hit me. And like I said, we had our similar situation with the Mike Brown situation back in 2014. You know, I was a sophomore, right before my sophomore year. This was a couple of days, like 2 days, the Saturday before we went back to our went back to school, sophomore year in high school, and just the whole climate of the city. You know, everybody was going out to Ferguson because Ferguson is like, it's like a county. It's a county in St. Louis, so it's probably like going from, you know what I'm saying, from people TSU, the Nashville area is like going to from TSU to the Gallery, Opry. You know what I'm saying? It's like 20 minutes from the city. So just seeing that and seeing people out there, you know what I'm saying, protesting and fighting for what's right, you know what I'm saying, this is what it's all about, you know what I'm saying? And we gotta start creating we gotta start fighting for change, you know? And like I said, not just going out on the street protesting, man. We have to protest in them pockets, protest their pockets. Like, all right, we ain't giving you no more money, you know what I'm saying? You just had the CEO of what's that bank I had wrote it down, the Bank of Wells Fargo, Charlie Schaaf. He said there's a lack of talent within lack of black talent within the banking industry. That's why there's not too many black people in banking. You know what I'm saying? He's telling you right now, okay, I'm gonna call you a nigga. And all right, let's see. I bet you still put your money into my bank. Like, they will test you and try you. Like, oh, you need us. In all actuality, no, y'all need us. Y'all need our dollar. Our dollar is the thing that makes y'all go round. You know, make your business go round. We created all this. You know what I'm saying? Having you big and worldwide and global. So if we need to truly understand our power and the control that we have, that's how we truly can create change. You know what I'm saying? And the protest, I salute the protests and going out there fighting for the cause. You know what I'm saying? But let's also protest in no pockets too. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that money has power. Let's start reinvesting that money within our community, into ourselves, into our bodies. You know what I'm saying? And black communities, we are filled with so much. We have to start building like healthy grocery stores, things like that, because we can find a liquor store on every corner. You can find a liquor store on every corner in the black community. You know what I'm saying? McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? We live in food deserts, so let's reinvest that into our communities and building our health. You know what I'm saying? And building ourselves together spiritually, mentally, and physically, and completely supporting each other. And that's what it's all about. And my boy Jimmy said, let me ask y'all this. Over time, wherever these tragedies happen, we march and protest and nothing changes. What would be an alternative route that's productive for black people to take?
Yeah, I think you really just highlighted what should be the alternative route. You know, we live in a capitalist society. Money talks in this country. Money talks in the world, right? Mm-hmm. Like you said, protest the pockets. I'm going to pin that. I'm going to give it to you now, but I'm going to definitely use that one, bro. But protest the pockets. We have to be willing to boycott. The Montgomery bus boycott was so important. And that's really what solidified a lot of change within the civil rights movement. We can't just have a Blackout Tuesday and post a black box on Instagram. Like, that's no systemic change. Mm-hmm. We got to be willing to financially protest and financially create shift within this country. Let's do like I said, intentionally buying black. That's really how we're gonna see a shift within a lot, when we intentionally support each other and we intentionally buy black things. So of course, protesting is great, but the movement is far more than protesting. We got to change these policies. We got to change these laws. There's no reason why anyone should be in jail for marijuana when marijuana is legal in some states in this country. So it's within legislation. So going back to change that. This country was built off of words. We the people, so we got to change those words that the people want to see changed.
Right. Exactly. Study. You are, how they say, you are what you eat. You are what you study.
Yeah.
We got to study these laws and knowing, you know what I'm saying, knowing how to protect ourselves when we deal with these racist officers and knowing our rights and how to move and how to control ourselves. You know what I'm saying. We live in a country that's built off of violence. You know what I'm saying, and hate and racism. So we must know how to protect ourselves, you know what I'm saying, by any means necessary, like the great brother Malcolm said, you know. So
by any means.
I most definitely agree with you. You know what I'm saying? We got to get ourselves together, and it starts with financial literacy, and educating ourselves about money and how money works. You know what I'm saying? And not, let's stop slaving for money and make money our slave. Don't get pimped out by the money. You pimp the money. You make the money work for you. That's what all these wealthy people, they understand that your money is your employee. Make your money work for you. So, but I already know what time it is, man. It's health is wealth, man. You gotta get into a topic. You know what I'm saying? We always preaching about health is wealth. Your body is the number one investment you could ever make in life. That's your number one vehicle. Without your body, you can't go nowhere. And my health is wealth for this week. It's something simple. We all done seen in our lives. It's bananas. You know what I'm saying? Bananas. Anti-diarrheal. You know what I'm saying? Green bananas. It provides energy. Helps with hangovers. For all my drinkers, I know a lot of people who like to drink. Helps with hangovers. Helps circulation throughout the blood. Blood circulation fights infections. Protects against skin damage. Anti-ulcers. Fights obesity. Lowers blood pressure. Reduces menstrual pains for my ladies. Anti-inflammatory, fights depression and anxiety, because depression has been very high with the COVID-19 and being on quarantine and lockdown and being in your home 24/7. And it may also help fight kidney cancer, you know. And bananas. I love bananas. I've been eating bananas for years now. And I love bananas. I've been told I eat bananas like a serial killer because I eat the banana. They tell me eating the bananas from this way is wrong. They said you gotta peel it from this way. I was told like that's what serial killers do. I ain't never heard that one. But you know what I'm saying? Bananas, man. Go ahead, tap in with them bananas. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get you right. T9, what you got for health as well?
That's crazy. I got another simple one. Last one I covered grape juice, so I'm gonna cover grapes.
Yeah.
But grapes are a good source of potassium, and it's healthy for your skin and hair, weight loss, protection, eye protection, immune system boost, and also good for your brain. So man, y'all get on some grapes. I just love grapes, man. I don't know. You can't never have too many grapes.
Yeah. What about you, Mello? You got health as well.
This is dope. I think I'm glad y'all doing this. You know, health is certainly well. For me, it's water. H2O, definitely.
Yeah.
It clear your face up. It's definitely a remedy that you want, and you just feel better when you drink water.
Mm-hmm.
I think soda. If you're drinking soda, please stop today.
Yeah, please stop today.
But definitely just drink water. Try to drink at least a gallon of water a day and just see how much better you feel.
I agree. 100%. Mello, you got health as well for this week?
Yeah, my health as well is from Shea Moisture. They got this new shampoo out called Black Castor Oil Shampoo. It's a 2-in-1 shampoo. It's paraben free, sulfate free, keeps your hair rejuvenated, and basically built for African Americans male. I bought it a week ago, and I like it. No parabens, no sulfate, nothing that harms black hair.
So man, that's the health as well. Now, before we close out, tap into the words of wisdom. I just want to say, Jaylen, I love the message that you have for Next Level Media. And we advocate for positive change through storytelling, highlighting current issues, giving voices to the next generation through our platform. Where do you see yourself? What do you see Next Level Media 20 years down the line and the impact and the effect that it has on the culture 20, 30 years down the road?
That's a dope question. Crazy. You really challenged me. I've never thought about that, so I'm gonna go straight off the dome. And actually, I'm gonna write it down later on tonight where I see it. But obviously, I want it to be one of your mainstream media companies. I want it to be a company, like it says in the bio, and like I said earlier, to foster positive racial identity. And that's obviously racial identity for people who look like me and identify as me. But honestly, I want this company to be able to help the next generation. With Next Level Media, I want it to be like a entry company for people that want to go into media and really just help people out, like this to be your source, right? Something like we have BET, Black Entertainment Television, but I want it to actually be for Black people and actually give Black people resources. Mm-hmm. So that's certainly the goal that comes right off the dome for Next Level Media. And the hope.
Yes, sir. So tell us about I forgot to ask you about that. Tell us about Next Level Radio.
Yeah, man. Thanks for that too. So when I talk about ownership and partnership, so during the protest with Brianna Taylor, there's this company, WXOX in Louisville radio station. They reached out. I was like, hey, do you want to create it? You want a radio show? With this show, we can syndicate you throughout the airways in Louisville, and we can also stream it once a week. So initially, I said, yeah, of course. Then, like I said earlier, why not create your own? So then I was like, well, this can be a partnership because they wanted me to call it something else. So I'm like, actually, I changed my mind. I'll do it, but Next Level Media needs to be in the contract. Next Level needs to be on the show. Mm-hmm. And this is a partnership. This isn't me just giving you a one-way street. So from there's like, okay, that'll work. We'll do an 8-week trial. So I did 8 weeks broadcasting once a week. And now after that, the ratings were so great with streaming, they're going to continue to do it. So it's like I said, being able to negotiate no matter who you are or what company you work for, don't allow them to dictate, okay, we're going to pay you this much. Negotiate that. Make that partnership. If you have your own, if you're already doing your own, why would I leave and work for you when I'm trying to build my own? I'm going to work for you. You're going to help me build my own. Then when I build my own, I'm leaving, right? And I'm going to help the next person. So that's really how that started off. And it's going to continue for now. It's a partnership with WXOX, right? If you look at the contract, if you look at it on their website, it's Next Level Media and RTK.com presents. Mm-hmm. And that's how it should always be.
Most definitely, man. Control your own narrative, man. Control your narrative, man. Know your worth. Know your worth.
Know your worth. We have to know your worth. And like I said, with Black people, we have to stop being comfortable and stop being distracted.
Most definitely. So, before we close it out, man, we got to drop some words of wisdom, some jewels, one time for your mind, something to think about and contemplate, man. And my words of wisdom for the day is, when I is replaced with we, even illness become wellness. I'm going to say that again for my people in the back who ain't hear me. When I is replaced with we, even illness become wellness. And that's from the late great Ilhaj Malik El Shabazz, better known as Malcolm X, man, So, we got to take out that selfishness, that I, that me, and start becoming we, us, you know what I'm saying, and create that togetherness so we can build a nation, a strong, Black, powerful nation of kings and queens that's been embedded into our DNA. We have been detached from it, but we need to get reconnected with that side of ourselves, and we need to stop that crabs in the barrel mentality and mindset. But what y'all got for Health is Wealth, T9 and Mello?
Man, my words of wisdom,
my man.
I'm sorry.
No,
my words of wisdom is talent that is not used for the greater good is no talent at all. So, man, if you, like we talked about, like protests for our people, is just not, that's not enough. Some of us got talents like speaking, music, radio. If you just using your talent just to like promote, things that's giving us this slave mentality like money, clothes, and cars like that, then you ain't really doing it. So I just highly encourage everyone to like use your talent for the greater good. More important, they will actually force you to become more educated. Go out and research and learn about your people, learn about what's going on, and improve your vocabulary, your skills, your thinking skills. So that's how you also can improve as an individual.
Got you. That's dope. I like that. My words of wisdom is from Jay-Z. He just simply stated, if anybody's getting handsome checks, it should be us. I stated that because, as we already know, Jesse Baylock, African-American male from Atlanta, he opened up his first ever radio station. His birthday was this week past. In Atlanta, they had a whole memorial for him that was dope, Black entrepreneurs. It was a great event on Edgewood. So, once again, if anybody is getting handsome checks, it should be us.
Most definitely. Man, Jaylen, we appreciate you, man, for tapping in to the Empire, man, with Real Talk with Kings, man. Please let everyone know your social media handles, man, and where they can follow you and find you at.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Before I do that, I just want to say thank you for bringing me on, man. Shout out to you three guys. Y'all grinding, y'all working. Continue doing your thing. I'm forever going to support RTK and Malik. You know, I got a personal relationship with you, bro. I see you grinding. Keep that up. You know, I see this continuing to elevate, bro. So salute to that and stay on this trail, bro. But for me, you can follow me on Next Level, NEXTLEAVELL, and then Next Level Media also. So thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Now, everybody, I need everybody that's tuning in, listening, tapping in, man. Smash that like button on YouTube, man. Smash it. If you dislike it, share it. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a family member to tell a family member. Subscribe to the show, man. Hit the bell icon, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a family member to tell a family member. T9, Mello, please let everybody know where they can find y'all at, man.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at T9INE_. And also follow the Instagram page, just Trio City Sound.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Romello, ROMELLO, A Smith on Instagram, and Facebook, just Romello Smith. And hey, anybody, if y'all got free time, go to NFL Network. They got a special on a guy named Quintez Cephas. He was falsely accused of rape, beat the case. NFL Network gave him his own special. Greatest thing I've ever seen on the NFL Network.
Definitely, man. You can find me, King Shabazz, at KINGSHABAZZ98 on Instagram, man. Also follow RTK Podcast page, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in each and every week, man. We do this for y'all, man. We continue to grow and expand, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell a family member to tell a family member, man.